Can kidney patients eat chocolate? Do you have a loved one with chronic kidney disease or CKD? And are you wondering if they can safely enjoy the occasional piece of chocolate? People with CKD may be able to benefit from certain types of chocolate, but it's important to understand the potential risks and health benefits before indulging. So let's explore what type of chocolate is best for someone with CKD, how much they should eat, and what other sweets might make better alternatives. You can get our handout on our recommendations for candies to eat and to avoid in the link in the description below. We'll also discuss minerals that are important for people with CKD and suggest strategies for managing thirst by understanding the potential effects of dark chocolate consumption on inflammation, oxidative burden, cardiovascular protection, gut microbiota diversity, and more. You can enjoy a sweet treat while staying safe. Don't worry, I'm going to try to explain all of those to you in the next few minutes. Are you tired of struggling with your health? If you're someone living with chronic kidney disease, I've got great news for you. Hello, I'm Mathea Ford, a registered dietitian nutritionist specializing in chronic kidney disease and the owner of renaldiethq.com. I specialize in helping people just like you improve their health by making simple yet delicious changes to your meals. Together, we can transform your eating habits, boost your overall well-being, and ensure that you're enjoying every bite along the way. Say goodbye to bland and boring meals and say hello to a healthier, more vibrant life. Let's get started on this incredible journey to better health together. Visit renaldiethq.com today and take the first step towards a healthier lifestyle. Chocolate, although rich in nutrients, must be consumed in moderation by those with chronic kidney disease due to its high content of potassium and other minerals that can have negative impacts on the advanced stages of the condition. Nevertheless, chocolate can provide numerous beneficial effects for CKD patients when enjoyed responsibly. Rich sources of cocoa are dark chocolate with at least 70 to 85% dark chocolate, which contains flavonoids, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that may help protect against heart disease. Eating dark chocolate has also been associated with lower blood pressure and blood sugar levels. Additionally, studies suggest that regular consumption of dark chocolate could reduce free radicals or cancer-causing nutrients in the body. Studies suggest that regular consumption of dark chocolate could reduce free radicals in the body, which can lead to cancer and other diseases. CKD patients should also be mindful of the sugar content in their chosen form of chocolate, as this increases blood glucose levels, which could cause complications if left unchecked. Milk chocolate is higher in saturated fat compared to its darker component, so it's not recommended for people at risk for cholesterol-related issues. Phosphorus and potassium are found in small amounts within cocoa beans themselves. These elements have become more concentrated when mixed with other ingredients often used to make candy bars or chocolates, like nuts and dried fruits, both containing high amounts of phosphorus and potassium respectively. Therefore, it's important for CKD patients to check ingredient lists before eating any type of candy bar or sweet treats made from cocoa beans, including muffins and cookies. You may be able to enjoy some of the potential benefits that dark chocolate has to offer those with CKD. Studies suggest that dark chocolate, which is 70 to 85% cacao, can reduce inflammatory markers like TNF-alpha in patients on hemodialysis, as well as reduce oxidative stress and cardiovascular risks. Furthermore, there is evidence for its potential to maintain gut microbiota diversity. Check the description below for a link to the chart on specific benefits and compounds in chocolate that may help with CKD. Despite these promising benefits of cocoa, it's important to note that phosphorus, potassium, and sodium content of chocolate products may be too high for those on a kidney-friendly diet. Therefore, it's recommended to check the nutrition label before consuming any type of candy or sweet treat. Moreover, people with diabetes and chronic kidney disease should follow their dietary restrictions when eating candies such as hard candy or jelly beans. Ultimately, guidance from your renal dietitian may help you learn which candies can be eaten every so often while providing adequate nutrition tailored specifically for your individual needs. Although there are potential benefits of chocolate, there can also be detrimental effects to those with advanced stage kidney disease due to its high levels of potassium and other minerals. Here are some key points on the negative effects of chocolate. Potassium levels in dark chocolate can be too high for those with advanced stage kidney disease at 559 milligrams of potassium per 100 grams. Milk chocolate is high in saturated fat, which could increase cholesterol levels, And chocolate should be eaten in moderation since it contains about 206 milligrams of phosphorus per 100 gram. Obviously, that depends on the type of chocolate and the brand that you're eating. Chocolate has no known negative effect on kidney function. However, it still should remain limited as part of a CKD diet. The high potassium and phosphorus content may still pose a risk to those with advanced CKD or those on dialysis, as they cannot remove excess phosphorus and potassium from their blood effectively enough to maintain normal bodily functions and prevent symptoms. These symptoms include nausea, weakness, and hardening of the tissues, and heart failure. When you have CKD, it's important to make wise choices when selecting food items that contain chocolate. Here's some tips to help you enjoy chocolate safely while managing your CKD. Read the nutrition label. Pay close attention to the potassium and phosphorus content listed on the nutrition labels of chocolate products. Choose options with lower levels of these minerals. Dark chocolate generally contains less potassium and phosphorus compared to milk chocolate or white chocolate. Choose varieties with at least 70 to 85% cacao dark chocolate content to minimize the amount of added sugars. So one of the things I love about dark chocolate is that you can slowly but surely get used to eating it and put little amounts. I like to take a small amount and put it on my tongue and let it develop in my mouth and learn about the flavors and the different accents and the way the chocolate tastes. So you can work up from 70 to 85% dark chocolate, and over time you will get adjusted to that flavor difference, and your body, you will really enjoy it. And you won't have to eat very much. Just a little bit will make a difference. Control portion sizes. Moderation is key. Limit your consumption of chocolate to small portions, like I just said. Consider breaking larger chocolate bars into smaller pieces to help manage your portion sizes effectively. Consider sugar-free alternatives. Some chocolate products offer sugar-free or low-sugar options. They can be a good choice for individuals with CKD who also need to watch their sugar intake, like diabetics, but may have sugar alcohols as sweetener, which comes with its own set of issues, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. Experiment with homemade treats. Consider making your own chocolate treats using kidney-friendly ingredients. You then get to control the ingredients and adjust the levels of potassium and phosphorus accordingly. Monitor your blood levels of potassium and phosphorus to ensure they are within the target range. This will help you identify any potential issues and make adjustments to your diet as necessary. Remember, while it's possible to include chocolate in a CKD diet, moderation and careful selection are crucial. It's always best to consult with your healthcare team and dietitian to determine the most appropriate approach for your specific condition. As CKD progresses, minerals such as phosphorus and potassium can become dangerously high, making it essential for those with the disease to monitor their intake closely. People with kidney disease need to pay close attention to their mineral levels in order to maintain healthy functioning of their body. This means adjusting diet to reduce or eliminate certain minerals, supplementing with nutrient-rich foods when necessary, and even modifying lifestyle habits in order to improve health. While dark chocolate may hold some health benefits due to its flavonoid content, people should still be aware of the potential for a negative effect on your mineral balance. Candies containing a bit of dark chocolate or other limited ingredients can be eaten every so often. However, care must be taken when monitoring mineral intake. It's also important for people with CKD or those on dialysis to limit or avoid candies that contain high amounts of phosphorus or sodium, as well as candy bars like hard candy, jelly bean, gumdrops, and chocolate, which could increase blood glucose levels if you have diabetes. Ultimately, having an individualized renal nutrition plan tailored specifically according to your needs is essential for proper management of kidney disease through dietary adjustments combined with lifestyle modifications. Like I just mentioned, if you have diabetes and chronic kidney disease, you may need to adjust your candy consumption habits in order to maintain balanced glucose levels. Carbohydrates increase blood glucose, so it's important for those with both diabetes and CKD to understand how much carbohydrate they should have at each meal and snack. While candies such as hard candy, jelly beans, gumdrops, and chocolate are typically asked to be cut back on due to their content of carbohydrates and sugar, there are still some options that can be consumed in moderation. Sugar-free candies might be a better option than regular ones since they contain lower amounts of simple sugars. Additionally, sucking on hard candy or sour candy can help control thirst without raising the blood sugar levels as high. Including some candy in your diet can also help boost calorie intake if you need it. Some people with CKD and diabetes may benefit from not only limiting their sugar intake, but also actively choosing foods that offer glycemic control benefits. It's important for people with diabetes and CKD to know what types of sweets they should eat in order to maintain healthy blood sugar levels, while also ensuring adequate caloric intake when necessary. With guidance from a renal dietitian regarding which candies can be eaten every so often, individuals with both conditions will be able to enjoy their old favorites while monitoring their health closely by checking nutrition labels for sodium, phosphorus, potassium content, and carbohydrate content before consuming any type of sweet treat. Now let's talk about CKD patients and candy types to avoid. There are certain types of candy that should be avoided due to their high potassium and phosphorus potential, which can be detrimental to kidney function. Here's some types of candies that you should avoid. Chocolate-covered nuts. While nuts on their own can be a healthy snack, the combination with chocolate can be problematic for CKD patients. Both nuts and chocolate can contain high levels of potassium, and the chocolate coating adds additional phosphorus. It's best to avoid candy with chocolate-covered nuts to manage potassium and phosphorus intake. Caramels are delicious treats, but they often contain high levels of phosphorus. Additionally, some varieties may also contain nuts, which further increases their potassium content. These candies should be avoided or consumed in very limited quantities by CKD patients. Licorice candy can be problematic for CKD patients due to the high potassium content. Potassium levels in licorice can vary depending on the brand and type, so it's important to check the nutrition labels before consuming licorice. Hard candies with artificial sweeteners. Some hard candies are sweetened with artificial sweeteners such as sorbitol or mannitol, also known as sugar alcohols. They're not actual alcohol, but they can have a laxative effect and may cause gastrointestinal issues for CKD patients as they draw water into the digestive system and cause you to have diarrhea. It's advisable to choose candies without artificial sweeteners such as these, or opt for candies sweetened with natural alternatives. Candies with dried fruits. Some candies such as fruit chews or fruit flavored candies contain dried fruits. You just have to watch the amount because the dried fruits can be concentrated sources of potassium and phosphorus, which can be detrimental. It's best to avoid candies with dried fruits or consume them in limited quantities. And salty licorice or salty candies like salted caramel candies can contribute to increased fluid retention and higher blood pressure, which are real concerns for CKD patients. Candies with added salt or licorice candies with high sodium content, you should avoid. It's important for individuals with CKD to read nutrition labels and be aware of the potassium and phosphorus content in candies. Now let's talk about what you can eat. For individuals with CKD, those on dialysis, selecting suitable kidney-friendly candies can be challenging due to the need to manage potassium and phosphorus. However, there still are some candies that can be enjoyed in moderation. Here's some of the recommended candy options for individuals with CKD. Jelly beans. Jelly beans are generally lower in potassium and phosphorus compared to other candies. However, it is still important to consume them in moderation due to their sugar content. Mints and gums. Mints and gums are typically low in potassium and phosphorus, making them a safer option for individuals with CKD. Opt for sugar-free varieties to further manage sugar intake. Marshmallows. Marshmallows are usually low in potassium and phosphorus. They can be enjoyed on their own or used as a topping for desserts in limited quantities. Fruit-flavored candies without dried fruits. Fruit-flavored candies that do not contain dried fruits can be a better option for individuals with CKD. They're often lower in potassium and phosphorus compared to candies with dried fruits. And licorice without added salt. Licorice candies without added salt, as long as you're reading the nutrition labels, can be enjoyed in moderation. However, it's essential to check the nutrition labels and choose varieties with lower potassium content. Remember, moderation is key when consuming candies, and even those that are safer options. It's important to monitor potassium and phosphorus levels and consult with a registered dietitian who specializes in kidney disease to ensure that the candy choices align with your individual dietary needs and restrictions. Sugar-free candies can offer several benefits for individuals with CKD. One of the primary advantages of sugar-free candies is their minimal impact on blood sugar levels. CKD patients often need to manage their blood sugar control, particularly if they have diabetes. Sugar-free candies are sweetened with sugar substitutes substitutes like stevia, aspartame, or sucralose, which do not significantly raise blood sugar levels. This allows CKD patients to enjoy a sweet treat without compromising their diabetic control. In addition to blood sugar control, sugar-free candies can help CKD patients reduce their overall sugar intake. Regular candies can be high in sugar, contributing to increased calorie consumption and potential complications like weight gain and cardiovascular issues. By opting for sugar-free candies, you can satisfy your sweet tooth while maintaining your sugar intake. By opting for sugar-free candies, you can satisfy your sweet tooth while managing your sugar intake more effectively. Another benefit is that sugar-free candies often have lower levels of phosphorus and potassium compared to regular candies. It is crucial to monitor your potassium and phosphorus intake if you have impaired kidney function, especially by looking at your labs on a regular basis. Regular candies may contain additives or ingredients that are high in phosphorus and potassium, which can be problematic. Sugar-free candies, on the other hand, tend to have reduced levels of these minerals, making them a safer choice. Sugar-free candies can contribute to better oral health in CKD patients. Dental problems such as tooth decay and gum disease are common in individuals with CKD. Regular candies with high sugar content can worsen these oral health issues. Sugar-free candies with their lower sugar content can help reduce the risk of dental problems and support improved oral hygiene when combined with proper dental care practices. Moderation is still important. Some sugar substitutes, like I mentioned before, used in these candies can have a laxative effect in large quantities, and it is essential to choose candies without other problematic ingredients like excessive salt or artificial sweeteners that can cause gastrointestinal issues. So look on your label for something called sugar alcohols, and in that case, eat a limited amount of those products, especially. For those with CKD, especially patients on dialysis, it's important to manage thirst and stay hydrated without overloading your liquids. Candy can be a great option for those looking for an alternative to water, as it provides flavor combinations and portion control. Hard candies, sour candies, chocolate, and sugar-free candies are some of the sweets that people with CKD or dialysis can enjoy in a limited amount. However, these treats should be consumed with caution due to their potential risks like high phosphorus levels, which we've already talked about. It's important to read food labels carefully in order to make sure the candy is low in phosphorus and sodium, especially if you have diabetes. Sugar-free varieties tend to be lower in carbohydrates, which makes them a good choice for people needing extra calories, but don't want too much sugar. Sucking on hard candy or sour candies can help control thirst without drinking large amounts of fluid. By understanding how much carbohydrate you should have at each meal and snack through proper guidance from your dietitian, you'll be able to include some candies safely in your renal diet while still getting to meet your nutrition goals. Individuals with CKD can have chocolate in moderation, especially certain types of chocolate, such as dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa content. And with careful consideration of their specific nutritional needs, there are many benefits of a renal diet. Dark chocolate has potential benefits for CKD patients, including cardiovascular protection, maintenance of gut microbiota diversity, reduction of oxidative burden, and attenuation of inflammatory markers. Gut microbiota are the gut bacteria that live in your digestive system that also help you to digest things. So they're very helpful to your body, and having a good variety of those, like using a probiotic, for example, can help you to be healthier. Reduction of oxidative burden is achieved by using antioxidants, which attack free radicals and reduce your oxidative burden. And the attenuation of inflammatory markers means that it helps to reduce the inflammation in your body, which overall is very healthy for your chronic kidney disease. However, it's crucial to be mindful of the high potassium, phosphorus, and sugar content in chocolate, as those can negatively impact your kidney function. Read nutrition labels, control portion sizes, opt for sugar-free alternatives in limited amounts, and consult with a renal dietitian to ensure safe intake of chocolate. Additionally, it's important to avoid certain candy types that are high in potassium and phosphorus, and to choose candies that are low in these minerals. Remember, I have a list in the description below of some good and not so good candies. Sugar-free candies can be a suitable option for individuals with CKD, as they have minimal impact on blood sugar levels and often contain lower levels of phosphorus and potassium. But overall, moderation, careful selection, and guidance from healthcare professionals are key to incorporating chocolate and candies into a CKD diet.